Today, I'm going to take a look at Pacific War 1942 Solitaire from Worthington Games, which was, or Worthington Publishing, that was kind enough to send me this copy. I want to thank Grant for that, and I'll put a link to my unboxing video in the description. But you can really kind of see all the components here, right? I just got done playing a game of Solitaire, because this is a solitaire game. And this is how we ended up. Now, I've covered the 1812 version of the Worthington Solitaire series previously. I can put a link to that as well. This plays very similar to that. One of the big differences in this game is this whole stalled effect, where a front, based on the Japanese actions, they can stall the front, and if they stall the front, then you're gonna have to spend an action point or resource point. I guess this is action point. The other game had resource point, but you have to spend an action point to flip it to active if you want to do anything with that front. So what are we talking about fronts? Well, basically there are these tracks that are very similar to State of Siege system, where you're going to be fighting along these tracks, pushing the Japanese back. The Japanese start off with these control side of the front, but at some point they might go bonsai, and then they flip to this side, which is a -1 dice roll modifier, which makes it tougher to push along that track, because in order to push along the track, you have to roll 3 or greater. You roll 1 6-sided dice, and you get to, on a 3 to 6, plus any dice roll modifiers, or minus any dice roll modifiers, you get to advance. You're going to start off by each turn by rolling to see how many action points you get, and from turns 1 to 8, you get these many action points. On turns 9 to 20, you get +1 extra action point. Let's see there, pull out a little bit so you can see a little bit better there. So later in the war, you're getting some of the U.S. ramp up and able to do more with your forces. So you're going to be, one of the actions you can use for your action points when you roll these is to attack the front. Another thing is to attack the oceans and try to take control of the oceans. Those are important because they're going to be negative victory points if you don't have control of them at the end of the game. As you can also remove the European aid or the European counters that come into play from the Japanese bot side, and they'll be negative points. So you want to clear those off before the end of the game. And Japan, of course, is a -2 dice roll modifier. Then you have these -1 dice roll modifiers, are these fortified positions along the fronts. So you're going to do your action points and either attack the oceans or attack the fronts, or move inactive to active, or remove European counters that are basically taking up your aid or taking up your resources to go to the European front. And after you exhaust all your action points, then you'll roll on the Japanese actions. You roll a 6-sided dice, and then depending on if it's an odd or even turn by the turn track here, they're going to do different things. They're going to fight back on the oceans. They're going to fight back on the tracks. They're going to flip over and go bonsai. They're going to do different things. The game ends when you play to the 20 turns, or if the Japanese control a couple of these home locations where you start out, or if you drop the nuclear bomb. And on the 20th turn, I rolled 4, and on turns 17 through 20, that is dropping the bomb. And it got dropped on the 20th turn. Actually, not a horrible thing in this game, because if you have not dropped the bomb, then you're going to get negative victory points, because that indicates a Russians got involved and had to clean up your mess. So with that, that's how this game ended up. Well, how did I do on victory points? Well, actually, I haven't added them up yet, so let's take a look here. So you add 6 victory points if Japan is occupied by the Allies. So they are occupied by the Allies, so I have 6 victory points. Add 3 if Singapore is occupied by the Allies, and no, I never got to Singapore, so I did not get that. Add 1 for each location, so I got that are not these round locations, so I have 6 for Japan, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 victory points total. Add 1 for the C points, 15, 16, 17, 18 points there. Deduct 2 for each C. I don't have that. Deduct 2 for Europe. Don't have that. and deduct 2 if the atomic bomb is not. So I didn't have that. So what did I have? 18 points, 16, 18, something like that. What is my scale here? 13 to 18, it's a draw. Japan and allies will negotiate a peace so the allies can defeat Germany and contain Russia. So I fell right into the draw category. I needed 19 or more for an allies win, and 12 or less is a complete Japanese victory there. So again, my first time playing this game, this for the 1942 game. And it plays very relatively quick. I played the 1812 first, so I basically knew the general concepts of this. I played a lot of States of Siege games, including We Must Tell the Emperor, which this is a greatly reduced as far as complexity, and a much easier game to play than the We Must Tell the Emperor, which is a classic victory point games of the States of Siege series. But still, this is still a fine entry into this space in that it's very small, as you can see here, very compact, easy to get into, easy to set up and get to playing. And it's different. The 18, it is different in theming, but it's also different in some of the aspects like this stall effect and the way the European theater is brought into it. It is a little bit different. There's a lot of similarities with the 1812, so if you like that period or that conflict better, then play that one. If you like World War II and the Pacific Theater, then this probably is better for you. If you just like a solitaire game that doesn't take up much time and still has some decisions to make, but yet still subject to die rolls, then pick them up both up. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Love to know your thoughts on it. Drop them down below and take care. Thanks for watching.